Alright, welcome to the Inner series, and I believe I'm going to turn this into a weekly series, and what better day to do it on than Procrastinator Day. But if you would like this to continue being a day guide, let me know down in the comments. Starting out, we did not get a level increase, and most likely we should be getting one in patch 2.5. But one nice thing that we did get is essentially the Wanderer's Log version 2. If you click on this DNA sign, you are taken to this screen. If you have not collected your rewards already, you're able to claim some free resources to help power up your character. So let's go ahead and take a look at the casual tab, starting with Artificial Island. Now we can quickly get our resources from Artificial Island by clicking the present. Unfortunately, we cannot visit the exchange store without going to our Artificial Island. Once there, you can go back to the casual tab, click on building, and then you can easily just click on exchange store, and then you can take a look and see what you have. And with it being the end of the week, you want to make sure that you buy your weekly items. But also, since the month has reset, we can now buy these monthly items. So be sure to go ahead and pick those up. And if you have not gone to Artificial Island and killed all your enemies, you want to make sure you do that today because they reset tomorrow. And with this update, we now have a mysterious vendor that has a chance to appear on your island every day after 12. If he does appear, you should see an icon around here and it will have a timer saying when he's going to go away. Also, if you have friends and they allow you to visit their island, you're able to go visit their island and get their resources as well from this mysterious vendor, which has a limited supply. But even if you do allow your friends to come to your island and get your mysterious vendor, it's always going to save at least one of each item for yourself. Next, let's take a look at fishing. So the store has got some upgrades. Now we can buy weekly matrix boxes, and you only can buy one of these, and the box that you do buy is random. So you could end up getting a copy of a matricy that you already have 3-starred. But if that does happen, I recommend that you save those because in an upcoming patch, you're going to be able to reroll those into another copy of that set. Think of the matrix blocker that they added this patch. On top of that, they took away the random box, and now you can just straight buy clusters, elemental ore boxes, or elemental ore shard boxes. And just in case if you don't know, you need to reach level 9 to be able to buy those matrices. So let's go ahead and take a look at our new interface. Starting out, we have the weekly tab, and you want to make sure you do enough things down here so that we can get everything up top. So now we have our recommended section. So let me quickly go over the tabs. This is where you can get your sign-in bonus. This is where you can take a look at your ruins if you have not completed them yet. And this is just a quick way to look at the world exploration that you need to do. But the main thing here is doing your Mia's Kitchen. And after that, you want to do your daily bounties. Now, you have two options. You can either go with Aspera or you can go with Vera. Now, Vera is probably the best one to do if you want to try to min-max because you're going to be able to get resources from Vera creatures, and it's also going to probably direct you to kill stuff in the new area, Innars. But due to that, you're going to probably be hopping from map to map. So if you want a nice, easy location and you don't have a lot of time, I recommend that you do Asperia, so that way you can quickly kill your enemies and get the same bounty rewards. Today, I guess I'll min-max. Which brings us to the Select tab to where we can use our Vitality, starting with Joint Operations. So for today, we got access to Bracer's Chest, a Huma in a Samir matrix, Shoulder's Helm, a Coco in a Shiro matrix, Boots Belt in a Zero matrix, as well as doing Sadness Valley, the Endgame, Carnival Party, and Pursuit of Fate. These are all really good dungeons, but I do recommend that you do the level 90 dungeons so that way you can get better drop rates. On top of that, according to recent patch notes, the drop rates have increased. From what I've seen, they don't seem too much different than what they were before, but I guess there's a slight increase. Next, we have Interstellar Exploration, and you want to make sure you check Vera as well as check Aspera so that way you get all of your Stargates. And the best way to tell if you have a level 3 Stargate is if this weapon battery category has a number 3 is a level 3 Stargate, but if it has a number 2 it's a level 2 Stargate. And if you don't have any level 3s or level 2s, you can use the new dimensional trial system. So let me go ahead and explain how this works. So we have Weapon Drill to where if you need to get weapon materials, Matrix Drills to where if you need to get Matrix data packs, and Go Drill to where if you need to get gold in place of our space-time domains. So if you're not in a party and you click Go, you're able to match with people, or enter like we were before, or simply just do this quick battle and instantly clear this dungeon and get all the rewards, and it uses up all of your vitality, which is pretty nice. And next we have the challenge section. And if you're trying to do something like the Bygone Phantasm or Frontier Clash, you might want to save your Mia's Kitchen so that way you can power yourself up. But starting with the Bygone Phantasm. So first you want to go ahead and take a look at this weapon bonus. If you have a good weapon bonus, then you might want to try to do the sneak to next level, and if your CS is high enough, you're going to be able to jump up 11 levels as long as you can beat that floor. But the biggest thing that will determine your rank is Sequential Phantasm, and it has changed this season. You now only have a certain amount of attempts that you can do a day, and you can hold a grand total of 10 attempts, so you want to make sure that this does not cap. So as you see, for the physical one, I did do that, and I only have 2 attempts left because we get 2 free attempts a day. But one important thing to note is that you want to attempt all of these and try to get your highest score possible, because this does affect your rank for Bygone Phantasm. Like as you see, I'm on balance round 19, but someone who is on floor 410 is beating me because they have done all of their sequential phantasms. So make sure that you do your sequential today if you have not already. Wormhole, you got 5 days to complete this so that way you can get that energy crystal dust. Frontier Clash, this week we have Frost Resist, but you want to go ahead and make sure you knock that out so that way you can get that golden gear. Origin of War, we have a new season and it ends on May 11th, so it's about 6 weeks. And you want to make sure that you do clear this within the season because you get some pretty nice rewards. But if you had difficulty clearing this last season, you could always wait till the last week. Void Rift, if this is the first time boss for you, you want to make sure you knock that out. Void Abyss, this season our final boss is Gaia, so if you were able to beat him last, you should be able to beat it this time, since the difficulty is lower than it was before. Also, the 2 bosses leading up to Gaia only have a difficulty level 3, whereas Gaia has a difficulty 4. But the main tech that I recommend that you get is a Mechanical Core. Now, you may not need Mechanical Core 3 like I have. You could do it with Mechanical Core 1 or 2, depending on the party. Raids, you want to make sure you do Shattered Realm on Heroic, Battle Test Area on Heroic, and Ring of Oblivion on Normal, so that way you can do Heroic next week. Break from Destiny, you want to make sure you do this at least 1 time so that way you can get your 250 Dark Crystals. Arena, now this combines Apex League and Critical Abyss to where we can get the same rewards. If you've been wanting to get to Grand Marshal, you can try to do this using Critical Abyss to where you have a team of 8 and you can try to climb the ranks and get all of the rewards. And still, you can get clusters using the Critical Abyss points, and we have a daily limit of 14,000. Then you got your optionals, and that is giving gifts to your 1.0 characters. And the best way to do that is to go to the black market and talk to Hopkins, Cetus Island and do the claw machine, and knock out your 2 trainings for the day. But what is not optional is to do your 8 Funzone so that way you can get Mirror, and on top of that, you can also get training points. And if you have not already, I would try to knock out your 6 Greyspace Fishers for the day. But your biggest rewards are in the Twilight Zone, but you do have an 8-hour time limit, so you could wait on this. But with the new area being as big as it is, I would mainly focus on trying to clear that. And don't forget to do your racing so that way you can get that free 400 Mirror for the month. On top of that, with it being Procrastinator Day, make sure you do your Security Force missions so that way you can get your old Vera coins in Mira. And you want to do your appointed research, which you can find in the terminal. And I recommend that you focus on the new appointed research, mainly the ocean ecology section, and try to focus on getting secret pool measurements so that way you can keep making booster module 2s to help increase your power. Because remember, you can only hold a grand total of 20 energy and you get 5 free energy a day, and you do not want this to cap. But if you need help on how to unlock this mission, I did make a video explaining everything you need to do that. And if you enjoy these series, I would greatly appreciate a like so that way they can spread more on YouTube. And now let's talk about our events. The first one we have is Deep Sea Treasure Hunt, where you can do various tasks in the new area to where you can get a lot of good rewards. There isn't necessarily a rush on this since you have 38 days to complete this. Next we have the Challenger's to-do list, and as you see, this mainly deals with modes in the challenge section. So feel free to look through all of these so that way you can get those free rewards as well. Then we have our themed event, starting with Open Sesame. This event is still going on to where if you do daily activities, you have a chance to get possibly a red nucleus all the way down to food. But the big themed event is Grand Sea Treasure Hunter, to where you can get pelican shards by inviting your friends and completing daily missions. So this one is pretty good to do. So make sure you're doing the daily activities for both of these events. Then we have the special operations section. You want to make sure you're logging in every day so that way eventually you can get your free gear selector box. We have the Sea Survey gift, to where you can choose between the free SSR character of either Frigg, Nemesis, Claudia, or Cobalt. And we have another supply run to where you can get red nucleus and special vouchers as long as you log in for 7 days. And Cobalt, Ruby, and Annabella are rerunning, to where if you roll on any of these characters, they all share the same currency, called Flame Gold Firestorm for the character and Overclocking Chip Firestorm for the matrices. One important thing to note, if you do roll for these reruns, if you take a look at the store, since it uses the same material, you could accidentally buy the wrong character or matrix set. So make sure you are selected on the right thing before purchasing any of these things. And of course, our premier character is Lon. Look forward to seeing my rolls on that in the future. And then we have the Gachapon mount, to where the rewards are are pretty good, but the biggest reward is definitely the underwater mount, which is the fastest underwater mount in the game. So if you ever plan to roll on a gachapon event, I do recommend this one because this mount is so helpful when having to explore the new area. The only thing that beats its speed is the relic, which has a cooldown. So combining the relic with this mount, you can move pretty fast. And then our main big event is the Lost Sea. So this is the best way to do the event, and this is thanks to the Reddit user Galari. So you want to collect your navigator, then add it to your food bar for easy access and click OK. It will show you a green circle of the approximate location. You want to zoom in all the way and you want to add a mark in the exact middle location. If you're not able to add a mark, it just means that you're not on the right map. So you want to make sure you get on the right map before you do this. Now you can teleport to the location and you can get on your mount or use the Pelican relic to get near that location. Once there, you should be able to easily find it and click OK and collect your reward. But some of the beacons can be a bit annoying to find. So one good way to prevent this is to use either Zero or Lin, so that way you can look at the Omnium Beacon location and try to find it easier by noticing their special effects by looking at Zero's cubes or Lin's field. Once you have one of those equipped, you can go back to your navigator and click on it and look at the pictures. And if you notice an effect, that means you're close to it. You can also keep looking at these pictures because they capture the images in real time. Using this strategy, eventually you will find the Omnium Beacon. Then we have our daily buys. So you want to go to shop, HOTS, and then buy your daily vitality solutions. And for me, I'm only going to purchase one. Reason being is that by me not buying that second vitality solution, that's going to save me 30 rolls in the future. So I would say if you're buying more than one vitality solution, you need to ask yourself, is the extra gear worth the 30 rolls? But if you can afford it, I recommend that you buy your advancement modules and your booster modules. And one big thing they added to the store, we can buy data repeaters and we can buy an infinite supply. So for my wells, be very careful with this. Try not to data repeater everything because that can get expensive fast, because one data repeater does cost 300 and you need 5 to fully block out a whole set of gear, which can still roll badly. So be very careful with this. Which brings us to the commissary, starting with the Crystal Dust store. So you want to make sure you buy your very special gift, your booster modules, your advancement modules, and your potent omnium crystal too. FaceTime store. You want to make sure you buy your booster modules, your data repeater, and your advancement module for the week. And then when it comes to the tactical eyepiece, it is a crystal fragments for 4 shards, and you can buy a weekly limit of 20. So if you need a visor, this is not a terrible deal, especially if you already have pretty good combat engines. Crew store. You want to make sure that you're doing your daily donations and you completed your 4 missions for the week. And with those points, I recommend that you spend them on relics. And the relics that I recommend are either Omnium Shield, Space-Time Rift, or Drone, level 3. And if you have all of that, I recommend that you get Hologram Projector. Support store. You want to make sure you buy your gold, your Space-Time Crystal Fragments, your Space-Time Crystal Dust, and if you have a lot of support points, you can get the Black Nucleus. And if you have return support points, I recommend that you get the Space-Time Crystal Fragments, proof of purchase, and Gold Nucleus in that order. And if you need help on how to do that, I got a guide on my channel. Point store. Now the only thing that you want to spend your points on are spare special gifts, so that way you don't have to do training, black market, or Cetus Island again. But if you need to level up your matrices or weapons, you could always buy matrix data packs or weapon batteries. And with your critical abyss points, you could always buy clusters. But besides that, I just recommend that you focus on clearing out the new area, so that way you can get a lot of resources for appointed research and also power up your account. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed this. If so, feel free to check out my how to get unlimited booster module 2s. But other than that, talk with you guys later.